The Supreme Court decision, Barrack, your thoughts? Unprecedented at best. What do you think?
I think it is scandalous that the whole continent of Africa should be talking about a fast. That in Africa we are supposed to be a foil to civilization, a place of reversals and negations, that nothing good is expected to come out of this continent, that when something that ought to be normal, that a court can take an independent decision, that we are wowed, as they say nowadays. We are flummoxed, we are mesmerized, and we are saying, hey, this is a first in Africa, that an incumbent has had their election overturned. I think it's an indication, of course, if you want to look at it a lot more constructively, that at least certain institutions are working. And on a different show, Jeff, you and I did agree that the judiciary was the last firewall in the strive for an orderly society in this country. So for me, it is kudos to the judiciary, because I want to believe that the judges processed the evidence before them, and they concluded that there was ample proof within that evidence to guide them to reach that decision. And by the same token, that in 2013, they also sifted through the evidence before them, and they took an informed decision, and therefore that we ought to have confidence in the Supreme Court, and by extension, the judiciary.
Wow. Barrack, NASA has rejected the new election date, saying they were not consulted. The Supreme Court instructed the IEBC to set a new date, which it did, and that date is October 17th. Is that fair, in your opinion?
Ordinarily, I think that it is not fair. The NASA ought to accept any dates that are given to them by the IEBC, because the IEBC has got the sole mandate of making decisions on those kinds of things. And when one party tells them that don't go that direction, don't do it that way, then they interfere with the work of the IEBC. But by the same token, there is a flip side that the Minister, Cabinet Secretary for Education, Dr. Fred Matiang'i, was saying the previous day that we are going to ask the IEBC to bring the elections within such and such a period, and we have already told them to do so. Now, when you do that, you give the impression that you could be receiving instructions from someone. The very least that the IEBC should have done, Mr. Chebukati and his people, if they have something called emotional intelligence, they should have even have made a profile, just something, a similitude of talking to NASA and telling them that we are considering such and such a date, because they already appear to have talked to the government side. And in sensitive times, such as this country is delicately making its way through, you need to ensure that you are making wide-ranging consultations.
Yeah.
Or even just appear to be doing so.
Right.
The Hot Breakfast with Jeff and Jalango.